As I hold poor Ajantis in my arms and stroke the hair from his face, with tears in my eyes, I feel the coldness of his body, either from his death or from becoming a vampire, or both. Regardless, it takes everything within me to contain the despair that is knocking on my door, lest I become the Slayer again. For the sake of my lost love, and for my companions, I have to do everything within my power to not give in. Imwan puts her hand on my shoulder and tells me that she is so very sorry. I barely hear her, as all I can think about is the loss of my love. Fear, anger, sadness, and despair. These all come so easily when your soul has been taken from you. It's like the closest sensation that I can describe is when you haven't eaten for a long time, for days, and all you feel is awful. You're quick to anger and quick to take offense and verbally berate everyone around you. This is what it's like to lose your soul, but to add losing your love on top of that, which is like just taking about everything good from your life and setting it on fire, is beyond devastating. So much so that I cannot even describe it. I feel like I do not even want to exist right now. I sat on the stone-cold floor with Ajantis for I don't know how long. My companions, other than Imwan, gave me space and let me be, but before Jahira left, I saw the look on her face and noticed the sadness in her eyes. She knows what it's like to lose the love of your life. After some time, Imwan started looking through the books we've gathered from Bodhi, and then taps my shoulder. You really need to read these, or at least what you can from them. I can help. They may hold the clues to bringing Ajantis back. All that's left is these books that we can go by, and I hope that we find answers in them because they're about vampires. Dia Vampir Becomos. This book has been drenched in blood, ruining most of the pages within. The original ink, faded to begin with, is now thoroughly illegible. A more recent script handwritten in the margins has left an impression, revealing a few words here and there, just enough to decipher the nature of the tome. This text apparently dealt with the process that one would go through to become a vampire, though the little you can see gives no indication why someone would want to do such a thing. There is a stamp on the back of the book suggesting that this tome was once archived and recorded by the followers of OGMA. Isn't there a temple to OGMA in the docks? Perhaps they would know more about this, but first let's read through the books. Conjure Auta Servanta. This text is written in a very old dialect of Southern Common that I am not familiar with, though it does not appear to be a particularly ancient tome. It seems to be a section of the personal journal of a noble named Thomas Sangui, and deals with the acquiring and control of his most devoted servants. It is difficult to ascertain much more, though from the frequency of certain words, I am reasonably sure that Thomas was creating vampire minions, if not some other creature that feeds on blood. His knowledge on the subject seems quite intimate indeed, and he details the long process of completely turning a victim. Apparently, if the process is interrupted, it can be reversed, but the author does not say how. There is a stamp on the back of the book that indicates it was once archived and recorded by the followers of OGMA. Bodhi must have had someone break into the temple at OGMA and stolen these books at some point. The Vampiricus Omnibus, unabridged. The Vampirus, ending the plague of teeth. This tome is quite ancient, and I do not recognize the tongue in which it is written. Fortunately, Bodhi has scrawled a translation of selected passages in the margins, as well as further questions she apparently wished to ask on the subject. Stuat Tuo Gotha, the Resolution. With the witch at the fore, long previous to her treachery, we did stride the hills of Umar, seeking comfort in our hour of need. The time had come for the living to mourn no more, and the blades that were fettered by sentiment were cut free. And it was decided that we would speak for our lives with the sinews of our sword arms. The honored dead that did take flight in the darkness of shadow would no more receive sorrow from those of us that had lost their friends and relatives to the plague of teeth. Umar, the Witch of Umar. But they talked about vampires. Almost sounds like werewolves, though. Could be. Darkness of shadow, like the shadow wolves that we were dealing with, that were all over the place in Umar. Mornat Depas Galvana Fathorn. Battles when came the dead. There came we, the army of light, armed with faith and conviction, and we did march unto the tombs of the restless dead during the hours of day. With wooden edge we struck down master and slave, though many paid for each thrust with their lives. In the fallen there was the danger of a scourge anew, and many of the newly infected seemed doomed to walk again with dire purpose. Eagato Devon, the plea. No more, cried we, no more would we lose to the plague. These new fallen could not be abandoned. We had fought for our lives and theirs, and they would not be taken. To the temple we went, to the god of sun and light. A monitor would save them, a monitor whose touch turned shadows to fire. In the arms of the sun god we were the infected placed, and the hearts of their dark masters were laid there with them. Blood did burn, and the dead returned, but not as undead or unliving, but alive and freed from taint. Many did walk the light side home when last the plague did fall. Well, we kind of cleared the temple of a monitor. The shadows were gone, but the shadow dragon's still down there. To go eliminate that. But could that be a place that we could bring my beloved to release the vampire virus, plague, disease that he has, whatever it is? Relevance of archaic worship of a monitor? Origin of the vampiric plague? Any link to a modern cure to be worried of? Historical document or historical fiction? A final note is scribbled. Interrogate OGMA monk at Docks District Temple about further information. He should be able to provide more information on reversing vampirism. So that is definitely what we'll be doing immediately.
It will be done.
As we carry the body of Ajantis with us. And there's nothing else here.
Rest soon.
Yeah, no.
We're
all tired from this fight, but no, we have to try to bring Ajantis back immediately. Lanthorne. This is pretty much the reason we came here to begin with. This will get us into Soldanesalar. The Rhynn Lanthorn is an artifact from ruined myth Rhynn. It was highly prized by the city's rulers as it shone through all falsehoods and illusions. The device, with the lenses in place, can dispel the illusions that hide Soldanesalar. And we also have Bodhi's Black Heart, though I don't know what to do with it. But we could perhaps take it to... What's this? I've already looked in here. Take it to...
my legs are just
Ilmater,
aching.
above the
I've never walked so
Coronet.
much in my life. Can we rest now?
No,
Please?
we're going to go to the Docks District.
Without doubt.
This way was sealed off, wasn't it? Or is it open now?
I'm so happy you brought me with
Bodhi
you.
is destroyed.
I never imagined that we would be doing such great things.
Finally, that's one. And on top of that, Imoen has her soul back, which is all great things. Which means that I could get my soul back if we destroy Irenicus. Kill him, at least. He's not a vampire that could be staked. At least I don't think so. No, he would have spoken of it. Okay, so we'll go up to the Docks District now. On the surface, in the graveyard still, I hear Imoen and Aerie giggle again. They've been talking a lot lately, often in hushed tones so as not to be overheard. They seem to be a bit careless about it this time, however. If I were subtle enough, I could probably eavesdrop. I think I'll respect their privacy. They giggle softly again. I put a bit more distance between me and them, letting them talk in private as they wish. Now is not the time. I really don't care. They should be a little bit more respectful. Although, it's kind of understandable that with Imoen having her soul back, that she would want to express herself more, but it's a very, very solemn moment to the Docks District. Where is OGMA? Temple of OGMA right here.
This will not take long.
There it is. Have we not been here
Speak,
before?
if it
we
must be
have.
done.
Okay, there's a monk here. I'll have to ask him.
Wisdom
Hello?
is only possessed by the learned.
Have you come seeking wisdom from the binder of what is known? The wise god stands ready. A friend is inflicted by vampirism. An old book suggested that followers of OGMA might know something about that. I fear I have no knowledge of the subject, though I once did glance through a text on the subject. It was quite ancient. I believe it was bought from a dealer in the Umar Hills region, but unfortunately it and several other books on vampirism went missing some time ago. A pity. As I recall, one of those books actually outlined the process of curing a vampire that was not too long afflicted. Ah, you can turn to books for any knowledge. Okay. Then we have to go to the Umar Hills. There was
What do you want?
another
Gotcha.
priest in there.
It will be done.
Hello?
Wisdom is only possessed by the learned.
I'd like to see your services. Of course, Seeker. All should benefit from greater wisdom and understanding. More restoration? Should we buy these? Probably. We used up a bunch. But that's not why I'm here. Raise dead? Greater restoration. None of these things will work. The body of Ajantis is being carried by Minsk. Sir Ajantis was captured by Bodhi and infected with vampirism, forced me to slay him. There may be some way to revive him, though I don't know what it would be. Well,
I'm listening.
Ari has cast a spell to make it so his body does not decay while we're carrying him around. And she says it should last a few days. So, that means we have to go to the Umar Hills right now. I don't care how tired we are, we're going. And no one else is arguing about it. To the Umar Hills. Such a pretty village. Peaceful. So, you protect the local forests, hmm? And where's your cabin? To the west. It's a short walk from here. Great. Let's go check it out. Maybe later.
It will be done.
Hello, Nellik. I hope all has been well in the village of Iminiscar. You're doing a fine job there, my lady ranger. Morella would have been proud. In fact, is there anything you need help with? I trust there's been no further trouble from Lord Eigen and his men? Nay, they're long gone, and good riddance. Got what they came for, didn't they? I take it everyone is thankful for the alliance with Madolf now? Aye, even Joanna went and thanked Madolf personally, and now Imnisvale, not Iminiscar, Imnisvale's got defenders like no one else. Who'd have thought, aye, my lady? There has been no further sightings of the Ogrons, I take it. Nay, my lady, no sightings. Been a long time since them orcs attacked, and I think they'll think twice now before they try it again.
I have nothing you wish.
The village has been quiet since the Umar business, I take it? Aye, things have been going very well and smoothly like. We're all mighty grateful to have you here, my lady ranger. Okay, so we've got to see through these books. There was a merchant that was selling books. I guess while we're here, we can all rest once we talk to the merchant.
I'm getting sleepy.
I forget which one it was.
Wish we could
Hello?
stop for a bit.
Good to see you again, ma'am. Since you saved this village, things have returned to normal, which is a mighty good thing. I'm grateful, for one, as is my company. Especially considering the fact that I know you engineered that deal with Madolf and his fellows. Never would have thought to sell goods to an ogre, but there it is, and he's a fair bargainer, too. Anything I can get our hero today, then? Yes, please, let me see what you have in stock. More than pleased to, ma'am. Oh. We do have some things to sell, but this is not the book merchant. Yeah, well, maybe we'll just sell our things and move on to the next merchant.
I must rest soon, certainly.
Hello? Hello there, what can I do for you this fine day? Have you needed a trinket or two, or do you need directions? What is it you offer? Let's just have a look and see if anything strikes your fancy. Okay, so there are books here. History of the Drow, History of Waterdeep. But nothing that we need. Hello? I can't tell you how relieved I am that you've stopped all the killings. I was sure I was a goner. Maybe now people will start coming back to the village. And I met my first ogre face to face. He wanted to buy some apples that I had shipped up from my orchard outside Athkatla. I was sure he was going to eat me instead, but he didn't. Well, anyway, did you wish to buy something? Sure, let me see what you have. Always a pleasure, and now I have a full stock, too. And still nothing I'm interested in, okay. Hello? Yeah, what is it you want exactly? If you want to buy something, then say so quickly, because I've got little enough time to spare for the likes of you. Let me see what you have. Fine, but don't touch anything unless you're planning on buying it. Well, there's another gem bag, but we have no use for that. Okay, so... Listen, I really don't care about Soldnesselar, or even Irenicus at the moment.
Squirrely.
I am tired.
Yes, without doubt.
Hello? Well, if it ain't our own ranger and protector, like. Pleased I am to see you, milady, Orn. Things have been going well, I assume? Killed your precious Umar, too. And here you are screaming like a banshee. Sure as sin that she'd come back now to kill you. You'll be minding your tongue, boy, lest something other than the witches decides to part you from it. Something I can get for you, milady? I'd like to see your services. Certainly, milady. Anything the house can offer? Aye? Yes, we're tired. We need to rest. Okay, well, the party needs to get closer. We'll rest. I know there's another merchant here, but I'm so tired I can barely think. Poor Ajantis. That was not easy, but my body really required rest.
Quickly and precisely.
With the haste spell had really exhausted all of us. Oh yeah, there's a book merchant here. Hello?
Well, you look like the sort who has more than 2 gold pieces to rub together.
Sorry, ain't got much in the way of tomes today. Been real slow here, so I shipped most of my stock to Athkatla. Ain't talked to anyone in weeks, actually. I'm looking for information about a tome that details the curing of vampirism. I remember a text that had Vampiricus in the title, but I could never read a word of it. Interesting look to it, and the followers of OGMA paid well, I believe. Bought it off a digger sage called Windy, or maybe that was just my impression because he talks so much. I find a lot of people drone on and on, never letting you get in a word in edgewise. You don't say. Anyway, he had some story about a ruined temple full of shadows, fleeing with his porter over a shoulder on some quest to find this or that. Did I mention he talked a lot? Yes, you did. He said he found the place after some fuss with a vampire, and he'd been looking for a cure for the bloodsucker, and he was running out of time, and, oh, Jehoshaphat, he went on and on. Uh-huh. So I says, is there a point to all of this? And he says, if I'm gonna get full value for the book, I gotta tell you what it says. And I says, I don't care what it says, just shut up. Because he was a real talker, right? Yeah, you said that already. And then he talks about hopscotch in a room of letters close to the big statue's arms, where you dump a vampire and the heart of its master, and then the thing with the magic and the stuff. May as well have been talking Orcish. May as well have a room full of letters. Close to the big statue's arms where you... Isn't that inside the Temple of Amonitor? May as well have. And he says it's all in the book, and it's something to do with the mayor's problems, and that everyone will need to know. And do you know what I says to him? Do you know what I says? By the gods, I can hardly wait to find out. 5 gold, I says. And he says, good, 'cause I really need a drink. Bloody rummy, wasting my time. I got better things to do than to listen to someone like that, eh? Well, that just... And then he just leaves. Okay. We're going to the temple, to the monitor. That's the
Without
only lead
hesitation.
we have. Well, it's a very tenuous one. Very, very small. Small lead, I should say. I'll show you my cabin another time, Imoen. We have to go to the temple ruins. A few hours to the northwest.
This will not take long.
But daylight is out. That's a good sign. The evil that the altar has been destroyed. Some of the monitor's golden coloring can now be seen beneath the filth of the Shade Lord. Okay, so we're gonna go into the temple. And if we're able to bring Ajantis back, I will be as happy as can be. The dragon's down there. Seems to be coming and going to go feast on the countryside. The light in the area is now normal sunlight. Let's go down.
If it must be
Still
done.
has a bit of an eerie feeling here. So he said with the books and the scrolls. I don't know what to do. Maybe the statue will be able to talk. Hello, statue? Thy work is done, a monitor's blessing upon thee. What? What was that? Can you see what? There's something in there in the eye. Looks like a...
Good to go.
Anyone says it's trapped. It's a diamond. Well, I don't want to take it.
It will be done.
That was interesting, wasn't it? What was that?
It is done.
Certainly.
Remember, this had a light, or shown a light, and it kept nothing else on the pedestal. Was there any other area here? Statue of a monitor, exit the surface, entrance to the cavern. That's where the dragon is. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'll have to think. So, the answers are here somewhere. I wrote down in my journal, I'm taking a second look at it, makes more sense. I spoke to the Iminiscar book merchant, who talked at length about how he acquired the Vampiricus omnibus. It once belonged to a man who apparently was also looking for a cure to vampirism. The man talked about a temple full of shadows, which is where we are, and a statue with its arms outstretched that lay beyond a hopscotch-type floor. Putting the victim in the statue's arms, along with the heart of the master's vampire, could, it seems, cure the curse. Hopscotch-type floor would have to be the words where you have to walk across where it says a monitor. Okay, so
Speak.
Minsk and I
Stand
have
back for
Ring of
justice.
Regeneration.
Without hesitation.
We both have Rings of Regeneration, so this lava-like floor will regenerate that easily. I have the Black Heart of Bodhi. He has Ajantis. So
This will
past
not
the
take
hopscotch-like floor. Well, I am strong enough to carry Ajantis. Here, if you don't mind giving him to me. With this belt, I'm as strong as a hill giant.
If it must be done.
A monitor. There's a statue here. This statue depicts a woman whose eyes blaze with light. She appears to be waiting for something to be placed in her arms. Oh, there's a book here, the Tome of the Monitor. I think maybe this is where I left it. I don't think that needs to be there, but put the heart of Bodhi and Ajantis there. Oh, he's back!
My honor is my life.
I have returned as a man, alive and breathing. Never would I have believed this would ever happen again. I was starting to have my doubts too. You, Orin, beloved, you restored me to life. After all the evil deeds I committed, you did not cease to believe in me. Well, she only took you for maybe an hour or two at most, before we got to you. Maybe a few hours, because there's a lot of fighting up top. You did no evil, Ajantis. Vampirism had infected you. It was not your fault. Orin, my god has forsaken me. Helm, I have done evil. I have to regain Helm's favor. I have to gain the mercy of my god. I cannot come with you, Orin. Forgive me. I am not myself anymore. I will come with you. I will help you, no matter how difficult this may become. I am of no use to you the way I am now. Do not be concerned for me, beloved. You have done enough for me already. Ajantis, what are you doing? We're to be married now. I will go and ask for forgiveness from my god. Do not wait for me. You have more urgent matters to attend to. It seems as though the information in the Book of Knowledge was correct. A monitor symbol has not only returned Ajantis to life, but has also released him from the curse of vampirism. But his actions as a vampire have been sufficient to make a fallen paladin of him. He said that Helm has left him, and he would try to regain Helm's mercy. I can find him in a place where he can be near Helm. We can't do anything. I refuse to do anything until Ajantis is back. But it means no Soldan Nesselar. You just let him walk past you, Minsk? Let's go.
It will be done.
We'll have to return to Athkatla. At least he's alive, but
yeah, I was like
I guess he's seeking his salvation. I don't need to hear from you, stupid sword. He's back. He's alive. I should be happy, though it's hard to feel happiness without a soul. At least I don't have this pressing, massive irritant inside me that was driving me anymore to
Certainly.
bring him back to life and cure the vampirism.
A den of stinking evil. Cover your nose, boo. We will leave no crevice untouched.
One step at a time, I suppose. Let's return to Athkatla. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.